Five-star weekend out in Eugene, Oregon is ending June with a bang. The Ducks currently have the number 8 class, but they are in strong position for another top 5 finish. Steve, let's take a look at some of these 5 stars on campus. We'll start with Doran Moore. Is there anybody that can prevent him from going to Texas?
Well, if you talk to some sources, they tell you Texas is the team to beat. But if you talk to some other sources that are surrounding some of these other programs that are in the mix, they think that Doran is very excited about potentially leaving the state and playing somewhere else. And Oregon's one of those programs that's been on him as long as anybody. It's a place that he's been as much as any school in his process. He's already been out to Oregon a couple times this calendar year. I believe this will be at least his 3rd time in Eugene in 2024. And Junior Adams has been knowing him since he's in the 8th grade. Oregon's receivers coach, Dan Lanning's heavily involved. Will Stein's got the Texas ties, offensive coordinator coming from UTSA, helped Oregon light it up. Obviously they got Evan Stewart at Oregon now as an ambassador to help recruit Doran Moore from the Lone Star State up to Eugene. So Oregon, they've been in the thick of this one. He had a great official visit to LSU, him and his family 2 weeks ago when they were the only recruit in town. It was an amazing recruiting weekend at Texas this past weekend. Ohio State, Brian Hartline, his trajectory, they're in the thick of it. I hear from all sides reasons why these places feel like they are in fantastic shape for Doran Moore. Oregon is certainly one of them. And so this is another opportunity to get him back to campus and talk to him and his family about why it should be Eugene.
5-star corner DJ Pickett. Now, he was in Miami last weekend. Now he's going to go 3,000 miles across the country for his next official visit to Oregon. What's the status on DJ Pickett heading into this visit?
Well, they've made this trip several times already. I think this is DJ's 4th time on campus. And Dan Lanning, what he's done defensively throughout his career, Tosh Lupoy and this coaching staff, DJ Pickett knows that he would get developed and have a chance to maximize his potential at Oregon. He has seen how Oregon has quickly developed defensive backs in Eugene since Dan Lanning has got there. And he just likes the vibe, likes being around the team, always feels comfortable at Oregon. I have Oregon as a dark horse for DJ Pickett. I wouldn't pick them right now. I would probably pick LSU today. But if you asked me who I would hedge on, I would hedge on Miami. If Miami has the year that they're going to have, that they're planning to have, they're going to be tough to beat. And then Florida's also kind of in a sneaky good position for DJ Pickett if they can turn it on and have a good year. But Oregon, they're certainly near the top of the list. And this is another opportunity for them to maybe move out of dark horse status and move into leader status.
All right, let's move from corner to safety, where Oregon will have a pair of 5-star safeties on campus in Jonah Williams and Trey McNutt. Right now, I'd say they probably have ground to make up on both, but who do you think they're in a better spot with?
Well, I disagree. I think Oregon leads for Trey McNutt. I think that they're the program to beat for him even before this visit. And talking to some sources close to Trey McNutt earlier this week, they doubled down on that. So he visited in the spring. Trey McNutt said that set the bar for his recruitment moving forward. And he's been to several places since. He's been to Georgia. He's been to Florida. He's been to Texas A&M. He's been to Ohio State. And I still think it's Oregon that has the lead for Trey McNutt right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have an on-3 RPM on Trey McNutt coming out of this visit weekend. Now, he's not going to decide till the fall. Wants to take a couple more visits. Ohio State will get a chance to rally with the in-state prospect. Georgia's a place where he could go take an official visit. He was just at Texas A&M this past weekend for that official, but I like where Oregon sits. Jonah Williams has always had Oregon amongst his lead group, but I still like Texas A&M. You got LSU in the thick of that one. USC is trying. He's a 50-50 baseball, football decision. Texas A&M and LSU, what they offer in both sports, I think it's just enticing for Jonah.
All right, we'll see what happens with Trey McNutt, see if you drop that prediction coming out of this weekend. Athlete Michael Terry, the third. His recruitment's really been heating up. He's a 5-star prospect out of the state of Texas. He'll be in Eugene this weekend. Where do you think the Ducks sit with Terry?
Well, I think they are behind Texas and Texas A&M coming into the trip, but the one thing that Oregon has going for him is Michael Terry views himself as a Swiss Army knife on offense, someone that can play in the backfield, someone that can play at all the wide receiver positions, maybe give you some tight end type snaps, H-back type snaps. He wants to be moved around. He wants to be versatile, and Will Stein is someone that he has a rapport with, Coach Maringer. That offense, I think, is going to be very exciting for Michael Terry and his family when they get to sit down and really dissect it this weekend and talk about his potential fit. So we'll see where Oregon stands coming out, but I like where the Aggies and Longhorns stand with him coming in.
All right, Steve, who else intrigues you that will be out in Eugene this weekend?
Well, certainly Dallas Wilson, right? You know, a lot of schools are trying to get the spatula out on the five-star receiver, and this is a guy that Oregon has at the top of the board, regardless of position. And if they can land Dallas Wilson and Doran Moore, they have Deshaun Brame, a tight end on campus that we felt like they have led for much of the process. But Tennessee is making a big move here. Oklahoma is another one to watch down the stretch. So Oregon getting Deshaun Brame back is big. And they'll also host Juan Gaston, Justin Hill, a few other elite guys. So just a ton of blue chippers at Oregon this weekend. They have the nation's number 8 recruiting class. Definitely has a chance to finish in the top 5 when all said and done.